Chanel love, welcome. I'm telling the story of how I went from working for other people to working for myself. Enjoy the story. Okay, so all my life I worked 1,000 different jobs from ages 9 all the way up. I've always, if you don't know, I'm a hairstylist, a braider. I'm a braider. I've had that natural talent since I was little. I've been braiding hair since forever. And probably when I was 11, I started taking over doing my own hair and my mom's hair and some of her friends, some neighbors, some of the little kids in the neighborhood. And it was just something that I did. It was like my natural talent. So it was something I never took serious when I was way into my late 20s and early 20s too. You know, people were, Chanel, why don't you do hair for a living? No, I'm not doing hair all day. And that's what I would say. I never thought that that would be something that could possibly pay my bills or something that I could take serious. I didn't know how to formulate that into a real thing. And it was something I always did. And but it was just not something I never took seriously and didn't know how to take it serious or how that particular talent could be of benefit to me on a larger scale. But this is how I went from that to, you know, what I do now. I've been working for myself for 5 years now. And how it happened was probably around 2011, that's when like the ripple effects of the recession of 2011 or 2008 and 2011, companies were still feeling the trickles and ripples of that. And I know I felt it. I had experienced 2 layoffs in 1 year from the companies that I worked for. And so at the time, 2011, I think it was around the end of the year, and I'm on unemployment and I'm continuing to do hair on the side. Like I always did hair on the side even when I had my regular job. And you know, I just opened the gates because typically I would like, no, I don't do this for a living. Do not give you my number out. And it's kind of had a limited amount of people, family, some co-workers, like people I knew's kids. I got a limited amount, but when I was on the unemployment, go ahead, give the number out. And I allowed more people to give my number out while I was on unemployment and still filling the applications to work. And I worked in the computer science field at the time. I was in the mall, and because I had extra time because I had no job, I was doing my hair like some funky crazy designs. You know, most people know I wear my mohawk with the white stripe. That's like my signature style. I've been wearing that style for many years. And so I was like tearing the sides up with like all kinds of crazy designs and everything. And I went to the mall with my cousin, and we were in there, you know, shopping and all that good stuff, or window shopping. You know, some guy walks up to me with, in his hand he had 2 like sets of cards. He had his barber business cards, and he had some modeling cards. But he initially came up to me with the modeling cards. I am not a model, not even in my mind am I a model, and it's just something that I wasn't interested in. So I declined, and me and my cousin were about to walk away when he was like, well, wait, you know, who did your hair? I was like, oh, I did that. That's me. This is my artwork. Yeah. And you know, he's like, oh really, you did that yourself? And he's admiring. He's like, oh okay, oh you did that, oh okay, I see. So he gives me the barber card. I have a couple girls coming to work in the shop, and so I took it, and I didn't have no job at the time, and I was like, you know what, let me just call and see where this goes, because you know, I was interested, and I'm so glad that I did. I wasn't getting any luck with the applications or the interviews I was going on at the time. So I felt like I didn't have anything to lose really, and I called. We set up a time for me to come up to the barber shop, which when I got up there, I found it was a salon gallery, which I'll explain later. But I went up there. I didn't really have any portfolio or anything because hair was not something I took seriously or that I did in any serious manner at all. But what I did do is I took my mohawk out, I redid the braids in a whole nother crazy design, and she had like a whole portfolio and everything. But I walked in there, she had just got done, I believe, and first of all, the kind of stuff I was doing to my hair at the time, very standout. And just catching the eye, I think definitely helped a lot. I won him over that day. And after he told me I had the job, I asked him if I could start the next day. And he was like, the next day, you have clients? I didn't mean I haven't had a chance to put the word out that I'm gonna have a braider here. And I'm like, I got it. And I had clients the next day. I had called around to all the people, family, friends, all my existing clients at the time, and told them my situation, that I was gonna be working at a barbershop and that they can give the number out, they can come out, and that I would initially start doing discounted hairstyles just to kind of get my feet wet with steady business in that building. And so I immediately started working. Yeah, that's how I started. That's how I made the transition. And it's a lot of things that go in the story, but let's just say within a month and a half, I had my own shop within that building. Now, the building that he worked at was a salon gallery, so it was a big building with multiple units specifically for barbers and stylists. And it was like different size shops. It was already a basic setup where it had the chair, wash bowl, closet, things like that, and you could just make it your own. But within a month and a half of me starting with him, the barber, I had my own. I worked my butt off, and it was an opportunity that I never planned. It was something I never thought was possible for myself, and God put me in that specific, gave me that specific opportunity. I definitely took advantage of it. Ever since that's how I'm here now. It was something unplanned. It was something that was very rocky in the beginning, as far as me being laid off and the transition I was going through around that time. But everything worked itself out, and I'm so blessed and I'm so happy to be working for myself and having the opportunity to make money with my own hands and my own creativity, and using the talent I was born with. Sometimes things happen that are unexpected and that are not good initially. If you take advantage of those opportunities that don't seem like opportunities, sometimes they are the best thing that ever could happen to you, I'm just saying. Peace. Get up out of here. Get up out of here.